Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. This week is a big one as I'm going to build my first ever dart ride in Planet Coaster. So excited to build this. It's going on this location just here. It's going to be a medium-sized dart ride. It's not going to be tiny, but it's not going to be massive either. It's going to go on this location just here, in between the trees, the railway track and the footpath just there. But anyway, more about that in a moment. Over the past couple of episodes, you're probably sick of seeing me do rock work, and literally this whole area now is really coming together. I mean, since the last episode off camera, I've done quite a bit of work around the rapid station, putting all this in round here. Still quite a bit of work to do around here in terms of adding trees and lots of other little features, but the main rock work's complete around here along with the buildings. But again, in between episodes off camera, I'll keep working on this area. At the top then here, I've also put in a line of trees. That sort of shows where the end of this area is going to be. You've got the exit coming around here from the rapids. This could lead out to another footpath if you want to expand this way in the future. And of course I've left a space there for another flat ride of some form that we will put in before we open this park. So also I've put in quite a bit of rock work around this bottom area here as well. I thought I'll do it all off camera. I know you're sick of seeing me do rock work, but thank you so much for all the comments, what you guys are putting on this video and all the feedback. It is great to read, and I do read every single one of your comments, so thank you very much. This has all gone in as well, so we've got a massive food court on the side just here, Pirates Food Court. You've got a few different shops in there, some toilets down the back there as well. Quite like this. It's like a little sort of watch area. You've got the little thing on the top there, a little crow's nest. And this is basically the entrance to your pirate area. So you come here from the western area into the pirates town. And of course I loved all the names what you guys suggested in the last episode as well. They were great. So if you do have any names for the dart ride, keep commenting on this episode of course. Here we go. So I've got a little kids flat ride that I've put in as well, and like the beach. What I want to do here was give it a nice sort of, well, a beach feel. So I've got that ride like it's sort of been set up on there. Sort of thing, and I think that works quite well there. You've got all these palm trees on the side, and it's not got a lot of theming around that, but like I say, I wanted it to feel like it's one of the sort of travelling beach rides that you sort of see at a seaside sort of feel to it. So it's down there, and also we've got a bit of beach on this side as well, which will come from the back of the dart ride. In general, I'm really pleased with that area, and I think it's looking fantastic so far, but like I say, in between episodes I'll keep adding some little tweaks along with lighting and all that kind of stuff, all getting ready to open this park to the public. Anyway, moving on to today then, and the dark ride. So you can see here I've extended the train line out. I've put the footpath in, sloped it up a little bit. I mean, we can change that a little bit if we need to. This here is going to have all rock work and theming around it, quite a lot of trees. And this is going to be the end of the area, so we'll have another line of trees just here. So, the dart ride itself is going to go around here. I don't really want it to go out any further than this footpath, so the cut-off's going to be about here. And it is the first dart ride I've ever tried building in the game. So if we go on to track rise just down the bottom here, I'm going to build this up in real time so you guys sort of get to see. I mean, with the dart ride, it shouldn't take too long to actually put the track in. It's more doing the building and of course the scenery. We'll go into the scenery and the building more in the next episode. This one's more about getting the actual track ride in itself. For this one, we're going to use the sleigh ride. You might be thinking, what? It's not Christmas? But it's either a choice between a Cheshire Cats or a vintage cars. And I think with this, I've actually had a little play around with colours. And you can actually we can colour this like black or brown, something like that to fit with the Pirates area. So we're going to go with the sleigh ride. I think it'll be the one that fits with it the most. So, but yeah, this whole area, it's going to start coming together. And the fact we're getting our first dart ride of the game, we've got a great selection of flats and coasters, especially over here and throughout the both themed areas we've done. I think this dart ride will really fit in so well. But like I say, in this episode, we'll put the actual ride in itself, start work on the building, and then the theming will more come in the next episode of Let's Play. So let's kick straight in then. Let's start with this dart ride. So here we go. Start with that sleigh ride. So like I say, you don't want it to be massive. What I'm also going to do is raise it up as well. This, because basically when I start doing theming, it'll just make it a little bit easier to sort of work that out. So I'm actually going to raise it up to about that sort of height, and then it means, like I say, we can put a floor in it, and when I start to build the actual building around it and put scenery in, it just makes it a lot easier. So right, of course we can make the track pieces longer or shorter. We'll go for quite short like that. That's it. Like I say, with this, there's not too much to think about really in terms of the track placement. Of course, I don't want it to be too big. Like I say, I don't want the footprint coming out too far. But like I say, this is my first dart ride, and I've been watching a lot of other YouTubers who've been doing Let's Play Planet Coaster, and there is some amazing dart rides out there, there really is. I don't think, well, I'll try my best with this one. I don't think it'll be the best dart ride you'll ever see, but you've got to start somewhere, haven't you, really, with this game? So move that out like so. Just making sure that I've got angle snap turned off because I want exact accuracy with this one. I mean, it doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be a square or a rectangle or anything like that. It doesn't really matter with this one. But if we have angle snap on it, it just means we don't get quite the same when it comes to placing the pieces. And that's something that I've learned again quite a bit. When I was building my first RMC coaster, I didn't really know much about angle snap. So it's nice to sort of know about that now and exactly what that does. So. Okay, so we're going to send the dart ride around this sort of angle. Yeah, and we don't need it to be straight, it's more about whereabouts it's going to go. Quite tight corners there. Okay, as you can see, it's starting to go in quite nicely already, this one. We had a really awesome weekend at Blackpool the other week. Make sure you check out the vlog on our YouTube channel if you've not seen it so far. It was awesome. What I'm thinking here is, of course, there's going to be lots of walls and things in there. So what I want this whole area to be here is sort of covered up with a big scene going on. It is going to be a Pirates dart ride, as I say, so got quite a lot of theming to play with. Yeah, let's send it up that way. Quite nice. Of course, we'll look at triggered effects in this as well. I did say I was going to mention before, but I don't think we got round to it. We were just doing so much stuff in this game. You can get so sidetracked with Planet Coaster, which is good, but I spend so much time doing this now. There we go. This is starting to look more like it. Of course, this goes round a bit curvy round there, a little bit different. This bit, we're going a bit more of a straight look for this. There we go. Yeah, so with triggered effects, we're going to be able to do some awesome effects inside this once it's complete. See, I'm not going to put that there because I want to make sure I've got enough space for a wall and scenery around either side. Like I said, I don't want this dart ride to be too big, but it also needs to be of a reasonable length as well. Quite a lot of dart rides, actually, you don't realise how much space a dart ride can take up inside a theme park. It's like Jewel at Alton Towers. If you've ever seen any old videos of that being built, anyone else familiar with Jewel will know, of course, the facade is beautiful out the front. What you don't realise is that the actual warehouse that Jewel is in goes right back. It's absolutely massive. That's the same with most dart rides. Like, you've got to look at Pirates of the Caribbean over at the Disney parks, and there really is massive show buildings. And one of my favourites, of course, Haunted Mansion. Phantom Manor, Disneyland Paris, how they really hide it. From the front you've got a tiny facade, and then really you're inside this massive show building. And again, the layout of these is normally quite simple as well, so we don't need to worry too much about that. So what we're going to do here, send it around this way. Oh, what am I doing there? I've got the Planet Coaster music stuck in my head. Okay, so if we want to lower, okay, oh, that's quite cool, the dart rides. We can lower it and make it higher. I think we're going to keep this on one level for now. Not too sure why. Oh, there we go. Don't know why that wasn't letting me move that then. It's all experimenting. I hope you've enjoyed me so far. I know we're 11 episodes in, crazy, but I do hope you've enjoyed me experimenting with this game. Like I say, it is a Let's Play. And that's what it is watching me sort of experiment with this game, really. I've learned so much along the way, I really have. It's incredible, really. And I think the park's starting to look really good now. Once this dart ride's complete and we've got another flat ride in, that sort of signifies the end of this pirate area, and we're going to start working on the entrance and the massively impressive entrance building. What I'm thinking of doing is putting something what I've not really seen done so far in Planet Coaster, and that is a hotel. Well, of course, it won't be an actual operational hotel, but I am going to look at building a hotel over on the entrance as part of it, and I think that'll work really well. Of course, we can't have actual bedrooms. I won't build each individual bedroom and stuff, but I will build this hotel and sort of see how that goes. A few little twists and turns going in around here. Again, it's not massive. We're going to start bringing it round towards the station now. Of course, you've got the fantastic autocomplete tool, which when building something like this, comes in very, very handy when you get round to the end. And just connecting that up. That looks cool. I've left quite a bit of room around the track because I want to do some really nice big set pieces. Turn that round. That's cool. And then we'll just literally start sending it back towards the station. That didn't take long at all, did it? I mean, this is quite a simple dart ride. Yes, I do want to do some quite complex ones. You'll definitely see at least one or two more later on in the game. But with this being my first one, I wanted to keep it quite basic, not taking up too much space, and it fits in really nice with the park. Off camera, I've put in all these trees as well, you might have noticed, just to make sure that we don't see this large show building too much anyway from the Wild West area. It's all about placement, this park, and I've really thought about where I wanted to put things. There we go. We'll start to curve that round. It's great to see so many of you are enjoying this. Of course, I try and get them on as much as I can do these. I know they've not been quite as regular lately because, to be honest, we've had so much going on Theme Park Worldwide. Normally at this time of year, there's not loads going on, but we have done so much on the channel. It's crazy, and lots of new vlogs coming online. So much to see on Theme Park Worldwide at the moment. So I'm glad you guys are really enjoying the series so far. Right, I'm going to use autocomplete there. I'm going to cheat a bit. There we go. I say cheat a bit, that's what it's there for, is to help you out. And there we go, that is the dart ride itself. I mean, what's that? It took less than 10 minutes to put that into place. Not that bad at all. So what we can do here is go into operations. Of course, there it is, there's my little sleigh. All need some reindeer. But with that, the good thing about that, of course, this came out with the winter update on Planet Coaster. Yes, it does look like a sleigh, but if we started changing the colours and gone to customise just at the top, as soon as I change that, say I put that to sort of dark, sort of mahogany, change that to black, here you go, that you can use that as like it does look like a bit of a piratey dart ride. You know, that looks absolutely fine. Let's think about, I mean, this is just me messing about now. We'll definitely think about different colours. But yeah, I mean, you look at that, there you go, already now. Look at that, there you go, that looks a lot better. It's got little P lights on there as well. I reckon they light up at night, which is cool. We call them P lights, by the way, because they're permanent lights. That's what we like to call them on Theme Park Worldwide, if you've watched our vlogs. We'll go for a generic sort of, we'll go for a light sort of grey at the moment with that. The supports you're not going to see anyway. I called the wrong thing there. Yeah, you're not going to really see any of this anyway, but we'll put it all black. And there we go. And now let's think about how many cars we're going to get. Probably go for about 15 cars. Oh, here we go. The good thing here is as well, we can change the speed. So let's get that tested on 15 cars. I mean, we don't want this to go too fast, do we? It's hard to know really with dart rides. What's that, 5 miles per hour? That's running at quite a nice speed actually. Let's change that about 4 miles an hour. I think that's a better speed for a dart ride. And of course we can change the intervals and all that kind of stuff to spread these out evenly. But let's send that round. Say we put it up 15 miles an hour. Oh my god, that's a bit unrealistic. But I suppose it depends what you guys are building in the game, really. Yeah, I think we'll turn that down. I think 4 was a good speed, actually. But there you go. It just gives you an idea on the actual how it's going to look. You might be thinking, what? So he's not done any building. I know, I've seen a lot of people when they do dart rides put the building in first, and I've seen people build the building along with the track. A lot of people have used coasters for dart rides. And there, this looks quite cool. So the story of this dart ride, I've got it in my head that I want it to be like a pirate. You're going through this pirate town, of course, the pirate village is over here. You're crossing the bridge, and you're just going to delve into the world. A bit like Pirates of the Caribbean style, but it's not a water ride. It's a tracked dart ride for this one. We're going to take you inside this big pirate castle and take you through lots of different scenes. This section here at the end, hence why I've kept it quite wide. We'll have like some sort of pirate battle going on, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to trigger effects and things as well with this one. So, but yeah, that looks good so far. That's spread out. That's definitely the right sort of speed. I mean, what's that going to make it? About a 3 or 4 minute dart ride? Nothing massive at all. And if we zoom out on the map, I've really thought about positioning. I mean, look at that now. It's really starting to look like a complete theme park. Half of a complete theme park, anyway. But yeah, you look at that. I mean, wow, the dart ride really fits in there. When it's in a nice theme show building, of course, we'll theme it all the way around. This side here will make sure it blends in. So when people are around here, like over at Buzzsaw, they'll look over and see this big theme show building. But I'm happy with that. I think that looks really cool so far. So we'll leave that testing. Let's think about the flooring, about what we're going to be using here. So if we go on to building, like I say, I've raised it up a little bit. I know you don't have to do this. You could just build it on the ground straight up. But I think it makes it a lot easier for doing the building and putting some tiles underneath. And of course, when you place these down, you automatically lose a bit of flooring as well. So I think it's quite important to go with it about this. So let's go on to building. Let's have a look at what we can do on custom in terms of getting some flooring in this area just here. So I say flooring, we'll use like roof panels or flat roof panels. Let's have a little look and see what we've got. So of course we've got these, which is a sandstone sort of floor. That looks cool. We can maybe use that. Concrete roof. Maybe we could put that in first and then add theming on top. I think that's the best thing to go by. So let's really think about the actual size of this show building. So say we're gonna put that underneath. Lower that a little bit. Say I'm gonna start putting that in about here. I mean, this is the furthest out, isn't it, for this dart ride? So say I'm gonna start putting that in like so. There we go. It's literally a case of putting that all underneath. So I'm gonna start to do that now, basically. I mean, you don't have to do this. Like I say, you can just build your dart ride on the ground level. I'm only doing this just to make it a little bit easier. It's my first time doing this. Yeah. Okay, what I'm going to do whilst I do the rest of this, I'm going to speed you guys up. Then we'll continue and start putting some walls in. Back in real time then now, and before we move on, I just want to make a comment. I'm glad you're all enjoying the theme park music that I put in the background to these Let's Play Planet Coaster videos. I do read all the comments down below, so if you have got a suggestion to a various piece of theme park music you want to hear, then comment below on the video. Like I say, I do read each and every one of your comments, so thank you to everyone that interacts with our channel. And like I say, you might just hear that piece of theme park music in a future episode of Let's Play Planet Coaster. So here we go, the base is now in then for the dart ride. As I say, we're back in real time now, where I'm going to start to put some of the walls around the side. The plan with this dart ride is, of course, to put the ride system in first itself, and then now I'm going to put the walls in around the side, and then I'm going to start to think about some of the walls for the interior section, and then go on to the theming in the next episode for the inside, and then put the roof on. I think putting the roof on last is probably the best idea, because it means that, or at least the roof in some sections last anyway, it just means that I can do a lot of the theming work, proper zoom in on it, see all the theming, trigger them effects, all that kind of stuff without having to worry about keep going in and out of buildings and walls and that kind of thing. I just think it'll make it a lot easier, especially with it being my first dart ride that I'm doing. So yeah, let's go with it then. Let's select the building. Of course, I do want this to be heavily themed. It might be my first one, but I'm going to give it a good attempt at trying to theme it the best I can, really. In terms of the walls that we're going to use then, let's talk about walls for a little while then. We're going to use the sandstone wall 4 meters, which is pretty much, I've used this in every building inside the pirate theme area. So we want to, this is going to be the signature building. This is going to be the signature building that I've built so far in this park. So we want to make sure that it looks pretty special, this one. And of course, I'm going to be using that same sandstone style wall that I've been using in the other buildings in the pirate area. So let's start to block that in firstly on ground level, then we'll add it in at a second level just above. So let's just think about the placement for all this. At first it might just look a bit bog standard. You might think, oh, there's not much going on there, but all the detail will come afterwards with these buildings, really. I'm going to focus on the interior and then we'll think about the exterior. So like I say, first just blocking in that base. Oh, there we go, didn't want that there. Undo, that's what the good thing about the undo button on this game, isn't it? Originally I was going to think about putting the train actually going through the dart ride. But then I changed my mind on that afterwards. I thought, no, let's not do that. Okay, so you'll notice that I'm building. There's two different options. You can either build it on the inner square or the outer square. I'm going to go with the outer square, just to make sure it's on the outer square all the way around. I mean, yes, it does leave a little bit of a gap, like you can see there. But again, that's something that we'll look at a little bit later on and get that sorted. Just think it makes it a lot easier. If we do everything on that outer square, we know where we're coming from with it, really. But like I said, it's going to be a while before the roof gets put on. I do want to do quite a lot of theming first before doing that. And I don't know why I've just placed that there. I've got a mind of my own, haven't I? It's more my mouse. I think I need to upgrade my mouse. There we go. But it's great that we're slowly approaching March now, and the theme park season's truly about to kick in. I mean, yes, we've got quite a few parks over February half term. They opened over the past couple of weeks and all sorts of stuff like that, which is great. And obviously Blackpool's open every weekend at this time of year. Again, if you're watching this in the future, I do apologise. Some of the stuff that I talk about really won't make any sense, but I'm going to talk about it anyway for those guys that are watching this video in 2017 or February 2017 when this particular episode is going to be uploaded. There we go. Right, we're really starting to see the foundations for this dart ride now. It's great. I'm going to put that next layer in now. Think about where that's going to be. There we go. And now that means I've got it at that height. I can just drag it across. I mean, that's something what it took me a while to learn, really, about sort of dragging things and where they're going. Again, the queue line is going to have to be thought about down here, but for now, we're just going to put the walls up like this, and then we'll think about leaving doorways and all that kind of stuff for the queue line. Yeah. Comment below. I'd be interested to know what is going to be your first major theme park of the 2017 season. Of course, Alton Towers is yet to open. They actually used to do a February half-term event at Alton Towers where Nemesis used to open, Oblivion. You never really had Rita and 13 and stuff open because of maintenance. But they used to open quite a few of the rides at the park, actually. So comment below. I'd be really interested to see. As I always say, I do read all the comments. So comment below. Let's see what theme park you're going to be visiting first this year, which first major theme park, whether it's Thorpe Park. Of course, we're going to be back at Thorpe Park this year to go and check out what they've done to Dan Brown's Ghost Train, Rise of the Demon. That's going to be coming. We're going to be there sort of late March, early April down at Thorpe Park. Same with Legoland. I always go early season. With Legoland, it gets absolutely heaving, that park. It's always the first one of Merlin's to open fully, so we're going to head down there, hopefully at the end of March, go and check that out. We're also going to go back to Warner Brothers Studio Tour, go and do that. Quite a few people, if you've watched the video which we put on a couple of weeks back, the 20 theme parks that we're going to be visiting throughout 2017, that doesn't include the UK parks. That is literally just a list of the parks we're going to outside of the UK. So don't get confused and think we're not going to all these other parts. We are. We've got so much to do on Theme Park Worldwide, so much to cover, and like me and Alex touched on really in the last episode, there is so much going on across the channel this year. There really is. Anyway, I'm going to speed you guys up again. I'm going to put another layer of brickwork around before we start thinking about some of the interior walls and partitioning this off. See you in a few minutes. Okay, so you can really start to see this dark ride coming together now. 10 rooms in total. We've got a couple of smaller rooms towards the start, then into the second largest room in the show building. Then we go up into this big square here, a few different smaller corridors, all leading around to the big finale scene, which is actually going to be a scene which is going to still be indoors, because of course it's a dark ride, but it is going to be based outside. So this is going to have a few different buildings in here, and it's going to be a bit of a pirate village going on, and this will be the finale to this dark ride, this big battle going on in this big village. It's going to be different style buildings to what we've done in the actual village over here. If you look at these ones, the more sort of realistic rock work, that kind of thing. What we're going to go with inside this pirate village, inside the dark ride, are more Caribbean style rides. We'll have a lot of palm trees about, that sort of thing. That's what I'm going to start to build really now. So if I think about sort of my placement of buildings and that sort of thing, let's start to put that in. Like I said, we're going to use this different style wall. It's a bit more Caribbean-y, I felt. For this finale scene for the dark ride. So it's really starting to come on. Of course, in the next episode we'll really go into the details of putting in all more theming, and then I'm going to look at them triggered effects and what we can do with those. So I'll talk a little bit about them. Basically, you can put in an animation, whether it be a pirate animatronic, a park as in a light, all that kind of stuff. And basically we can trigger it, so we can select a piece of track that when the car passes over that piece of track, it will light something up, it'll play audio, it'll do an animatronic, all that kind of stuff, which to be honest I think is pretty amazing. And I can't wait to sort of get stuck in and have a good go with that. I have had a little practice with triggered effects. Like I said, this is the first dark ride I've done, but I have tried using triggered effects on some other projects that I've done, and yeah, wow, they look absolutely awesome. So the good thing about a dark ride like this as well, pretty much like you can do at a real theme park, is you don't have to build the whole building. I mean, with this, with it being inside a big show building, of course it doesn't matter how it looks on this side, well, within reason anyway. So this here, it'll be a pirate building with a roof on, that kind of thing. We don't need to worry too much about how it looks, and that's the great thing about a dark ride. You know, you only have to do the one side of it normally. I mean, this building will be a bit different here because it's going right in the middle, but in general you only have to do the one side of it, which is awesome in terms of theming. So here we go, you can really start to get a feel for how this is going to look now once it's a complete dark ride. And of course I'm open to suggestions for what theming to put inside with this one as well. I won't go in straight away and you know, start building it. I'll wait until I've seen your comments for suggestions. You really get an idea of how this is going to be there when it's done. So I think we need another building just down here, just to separate that up a little bit, so we don't see them cars coming down as much. There we go. That could be a low level building actually, can't it? Yeah, that sort of style. Of course we don't want the roofs to be anything too massive because the main roof itself is going to be in there. Yeah, it's just working on that main show building really. There we go. I like that a lot. I think we'll go for some more buildings which we're going to have down in this bottom section as well. So again, this is going to be a different room with a couple of different scenes in. So we'll put some buildings in here as well. Yeah, so get a comment below. I'm really interested to see what you would like to see inside this dark ride. Bear in mind it's my first one. I'm not going to do it too complicated for the first dark ride, but considering it's my first one, I think the structure of it's come together quite quick really. And of course we're nearly at the end of this episode, but in the next one we'll really go to town in terms of the detail in here, and like I said, we'll go on for them triggered effects. So this is going to be a couple of low level buildings we'll just have down this side as well. It's really coming together this though now. There we go. So yeah, we're going to take you through this pirate town inside this ride. We'll have a small sort of tower over at this side. Awesome. Really starting to come together now, it really is. Let's have a little look at what type of windows we've got to start putting on these buildings just here. So for the outside buildings we used these ones, didn't we, here? Yeah, we used those in grey and black. With these being more Caribbean style buildings, I'm feeling something with maybe shutters on. Yeah, something like that I think would work quite well. They're quite nice. Yeah, let's put some of those in. So of course this is supposed to be a with the large ones. There we go. Yeah, this is supposed to be an outside Caribbean-y pirate village, what we've got going on. I know some of you might have been expecting my pirate area to have a lot more buildings like this in. I wanted to save it for the dark ride, really. I had plans for a dark ride all along, as much as I've kept it on the lowdown. I did want to put a dark ride in at some point, so I think you know, now is definitely the time for that. They are, they look cool. There we go. Yeah, lots of animatronics and things to be going in here. It is very much going to be Pirates of the Caribbean style, except it is a tracked dark ride instead of a water-based ride. That's something what isn't actually available at the moment in Planet Coaster. That looked quite cool. It's still a bit, that's more to fit in with that wall, isn't it? Yeah, that's something there isn't. It's like a slow boat ride. It's something what there isn't available yet in the game, which is a shame. Of course, you can get log flumes. And you can get rapids rides, all that kind of stuff. But as a general slow boat ride is something what isn't available at the moment. So it'd be quite nice for Planet Coaster to get that. But I know the guys at Frontier are listening a lot to feedback and they've done some fantastic things. So no need to rush, guys, if you're watching this video. No need to rush at all. You just keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to place them. And of course we can be even more accurate with this and use the advanced scenery tool. Well, I don't think we need to with this one really. It's going to be dark in here, bear in mind. We're going to do a lot in terms of atmospheric lighting inside this dark ride as well. So there we go. Yeah, of course up in the ceiling we'll have some truss and have loads of lights on it, all that kind of stuff. Again, all for that realism. Ooh, that looks quite cool. Let's have a couple of those in. Yeah, this is really coming together now. Santa's sleigh dark ride. It's a shame that it does look a little bit like a sleigh, but not too much. I think it's okay for what we've got, really. There we go. So you get the idea of where I'm coming from with this dark ride now. It is really starting to come together. This is just putting the foundations in for it, really, this episode. And then the next one is when we'll go into a lot more detail. Yeah, that looks fine. And of course we'll have lots of scenery and we can change the flooring inside there, all that kind of stuff. What have we got in terms of roofs, actually, for this? I haven't actually looked, really. Thinking more, yeah, not corrugated. Definitely not gingerbread. We'll save that for a fancy area. Oh, here we go. This is better. Definitely a fancy area to come at some point throughout this series. That's nice. Yeah, that really fits, actually. That's really cool. Like that. Don't know how it'll work at the top there, because obviously we're going to be having the main roof going on. Let's just try it over on this one. Yeah, that's going to just poke out the top, unless we do raise the roof up slightly. But again, do we really need to? Can we just lower that down? Yeah. That's something we're going to have to look into. Or maybe we just don't have a roof on those buildings there that are a bit taller. I don't know, it's all stuff to think about, but we're going to build in lots of little scenes up inside this ride. And that's what I really like. We'll really think about the soundtracks in here as well. That's nice. Yeah, we'll really think about the soundtracks and what kind of music we're going to have on in here. And lighting is really important with dark rides as well. So it's definitely going to be worth staying tuned for the next episode. It's going to be a really, really exciting one as we start to theme all this. Well, I say start to theme. I want to get it all done. There'll be a lot of sped up footage, but there'll be a lot of non-sped up footage as well, I'd like to think. Oh, there we go. We got a little chimney. I mean, with this being a dark ride, we can think about smoke effects, all that kind of stuff as well with this. Ooh, that's quite cool. I have a feeling that's a little bit too big, so we'll lower that in there. Yeah, we can have like a smoke effect coming out of that. Oh, brilliant stuff. Let's have a different chimney down here on this one. Maybe a couple of chimneys. Of course, we're not going to see the inside of those buildings there, so we can make that look how we want. All these little details, wall decorations. These dark rides. You can see why people. I've watched so many of the YouTubers who've done dark rides, and they are absolutely amazing. They really are, because you can do so much with them. You really can. So much detail. I know this is my first one, but going forward, I'm sure we'll do even more detail. Finish off little things like that on the top as well. It's all about finishing touches in these dark rides. And I'm not a massive fan of Universal's dark rides because I think they use too many screens in general. It's like Skull Island Reign of Kong at Islands of Adventure if you've been on it. It opened last year, and to be honest, I was really disappointed with it. If you've seen the vlog, you'll know how disappointed I was, because it's just screens, isn't it? There's so much good theming on the outside, and you get inside it, it's just so many screens, and I like physical sets to look at, physical theming. That's what I want to make sure that we really do cover on this ride here. Lots of sets, there'll be no screens inside here. So for now, this is just building the base, so to speak. And we can go do some more detail out the front just here. We can have balconies, we can have all sorts going on. They definitely look quite sort of Caribbean style. I mean, look at those on there. Yeah, they're really nice actually. I think we'll save them for this big building in the middle to have some of those on the top. Yeah, I love the look of those. That's more of a stone. Don't think that fits quite as well. Stone railing. Oh, that's the same sort of style as that. They're nice though. It is like what you'd have at a... oh, that's cool. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. It is sort of what you'd see, isn't it, on a Caribbean or Mediterranean style building. So all these details, again, it's what really makes a dark ride. Let's spin around this way. Add a few more of those on. You really get the gist of where I'm going with this, can't you? I mean, it's pretty much very experimental. As long as we've put a lot of stuff in here, then again, I'm pretty much open to suggestions. I don't just want it to be blank. I want all these rooms to be full. Like if you go down to the eye level now and look up at these sets. Oh, we don't want to go underground. There you go. That gives you a lot more perspective on how impressive this will be, riding around here and seeing all these big sets. In fact, I know you all like watching POV, so what I'll do, I'll put a bit of footage on. I know there's not a lot to see at the moment, but we'll end this Let's Play with a bit of on-ride footage from the dark ride that we've built so far. We'll carry on with it in the next episode. We'll finish the interior theming in the next episode. But you look at that there, that gives you a gist of how we're going with this. We want to go into different scenes, lots of little things going on, and plenty of animatronics and triggered effects. So let's have a look at a POV, and then we'll wrap up this episode of Let's Play Planet Coaster. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that little POV there, just showing some of the sections on our dark ride so far. I think we made quite a lot of progress really in this episode. Bear in mind that was literally just plain grass. There was nothing there at the start of this ep. And then now we've put all that in there. We've got the main ride system in itself, split off all the rooms, put the walls in around the side, and started a little bit of theming in two of the scenes as well. So like I say, we'll really crack on with that in the next episode, go through triggered effects, and just genuinely put loads and loads of theming inside that dark ride. Thank you very much for watching Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. I'll see you back here for another episode very, very soon here on our YouTube channel, and have a fantastic week. See you soon, guys, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.